there, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My fellow heretics or heretics, however you want to say it. So we are continuing with our series on tarot messages by Human Design Profile. So if you're here, your 5-1 profile, heretic investigator, or you have no idea what your profile is and you're curious. There is a link in the description below to get your Human Design body graph. You'll need the same information you need for your natal chart, so your birth date, time, and location. Human Design is a bit more sensitive when it comes to the time that you were born, because there are certain aspects of your chart that can change depending on the time. It may or may not. But if you don't know your exact time of date, maybe you have an intuition, or maybe you've heard throughout your life that you were born during a certain time of day, and you can use a time that would correlate to that. You can, of course, use noon. Just know, I mean, you can also play around with it. It's fairly easy to change your birth details in there, because that's what I did. And for me, it didn't matter what time I was born. On the day that I was born, I was going to be a 5-1 manifesting generator. But I have seen in other people's charts that their type and or profile changes depending on the time. So just be aware of that. Once you put your information in, you'll get something that looks like this. This is your body graph, unique to you, of course, without the notes. But you'll see your type, your definition, strategy, profile, inner authority, not self-theme, and your incarnation cross. So for the purposes of these videos, we're going to be using your profile. Your strategy and authority is equally as important. It helps you navigate experiences and helps you determine what experiences are correct for you and what may not be correct for you. And then I see the profile as being how you interact with the relationships in your life, like actual people versus energies. But, I think one of the beautiful things about Human Design out of the many is that everything works in tandem, right? So not one thing is more important than the other to me, but you do hear a lot about strategy and authority. So that's kind of like, one of the one things that you would want to also take a look into. And there's a lot of amazing information out there on YouTube, or if you just Google your strategy and authority, which would relate to your type. And all of that information comes from within your body graph. So, we have been reading from the Definitive Book of Human Design. We're going to finish up reading from the Definitive Book of Human Design today. So we started with the background 2 videos ago. We read the personal last time, and we're going to finish up here with the interpersonal. And then, of course, we'll get to the tarot message. So it says, heretic investigators aspire to make themselves personally attractive in order to improve their chances of universalizing, as well as to seduce a partner into seducing them. They have vulnerabilities and insecurities and are reluctant to show their true self. Few people ever truly know the 5th line, as they are shrouded in an elusive projection field. The 5th line hoards or holds back and waits for the illusion of power, the projection field, to build, and the right moment to universalize the foundation. Providing practical solutions in crisis situations requires disciplined patience. Heretic investigators thrive on this process, but need to remember to return to their waiting once they have satisfied a projection in order to prepare for the next. They must be able to recognize when it is the right time to move on, or else suffer damage to their reputation. If they wait too long to leave and there is nothing left to save, new layers of projection get added over the first ones that may not be correct for them. In addition, the 5-1 profile has an interesting connection to the 6-2 profile because the wisdom of the trusted associate, because the wisdom and trusted, because of the wisdom and trust associated with 6-2s, they can enhance or save the reputations of 5-1s by innocently supporting their heresy. Not hearsay. Heresy. And the practical foundation they are universalizing. The reverse is also true. 6-2s can destroy the reputation as well. It says other famous 5-1s are Anne Frank, Clint Eastwood, Hugh Hefner, Neil Armstrong, Paul McCartney, Ra-Uru Hu, who is the guy that channeled human design, Theo Van Gogh. Interesting. Although, I don't know if that was really, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if that was really all that informative to me. You know, I don't know. How do you feel about that? I mean, it's informative to know that about 6-2s. Although I've heard that anybody with a 6th line can help you, regain your reputation if needed. But also, I don't know if I said this the last time or not, but there is kind of like a freedom that comes once that projection field has either worn off or exposed itself. Because that's the thing, right? Is people are not able to see 5th lines well because they're seeing their own projection. So, it's like you're a mirror to them, whether that's good or bad, right? I've had many experiences where people were telling me that I was certain things, and I'm like, am I a mirror? Because none of those things are who I am, but all of those things are who you are, right? So it's interesting. But, it talks about universalizing, like coming in with that practical solution, but also that's where your strategy and authority would come into play. Like, is it because just because you can save, step in to a crisis situation doesn't necessarily mean you should. And that's where your strategy and authority would come in, because that will help you determine what would be the correct situation to step into and what isn't. But also, recognizing too that you step in, you do your little part, you do your ditty, right? You do your little diddly or ditty. And then you get the F up out of there. Because I believe that it was saying that before. I feel like I said something about. Unlike 4th lines, whose greatest influence is within their networks and personal associations, you are most powerful as a stranger of consequence. You're designed to interface with new people who are ready to receive your heretical, mutative information. Familiarity breeds contempt for a fifth line. And that might be why, you know, have you ever had one of those situations where it started off so effing great and then just deteriorated over time? Or, you know, because there's a lot of, I don't know if it mentions it in the book, but burning at the stake. Like just all of a sudden, out of the blue, you know, the energy shifts and people, I've had that happen with, you know, friendships and even, you know, I mean, romantic relationships where I'm just kind of left like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? And that's generally based on other people's projections, right? It's not even, you know, that's kind of the hard part, is it's not necessarily based on something that you did. Okay, we're shuffling a million times here. We're looking for a message for 5-1 profile. And that's why, you know, like when I first started looking into human design, when I first read about, and I was just on Google, just Googling, you know, the 5-1 profile, reading about, like, I mean, I was literally dropping tears because it was just so validating to read my experience, you know, and I had been trying to explain it to people and show people for years prior, and nobody, you know, everybody was like, you know, I think you're being too sensitive or whatever. I wasn't. Although I'm a Cancer rising, so, you know, I hope that noise outside isn't too annoying. Like it's annoying me. Okay, I know. A couple more here. I know we're already at 12 minutes. I apologize. Okay. There we go. It's a feeling, you know. Let's see. What is the message? Hold on. Okay. Let's see. We have the 3 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, Knight of Swords, 10 of Cups, the Lovers, and then we have the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Are these, is this straight? It's my OCD. I don't know. Okay, so of course we'll go through each one of these cards here like we do. And I was laughing because I've seen the Lovers card more times doing these profile readings this month than I have ever in the time that I've been reading tarot. So it's interesting. Definitely interesting. So we start with the 3 of Pentacles, which talks about collaboration. Pentacles have to do with our time, our money, how we make it, how we spend it, how we save it. It's also our physical body, our health. It's anything having to do with the 3D world, the tangible things. And it is usually, there's usually more than one person involved. It's like a collective effort to get something going. So you could be in this energy where maybe, there is somebody helping you get something off the ground. You could be taking a course or looking at taking a course on a specific matter or subject, of course. You could be even looking for like a life coach or somebody, who can maybe offer you some sort of guidance, maybe even a mentor. But this could also even be working on a craft. Like if they're, and a craft can literally be anything. It doesn't have to be like a hobby or like a side hustle or, like in here we have macrame. I mean, for whatever reason, like coding came to mind. That's super random, but just something having to do with the tech industry. But again, there's like this team effort. This even could be reaching out to people. Because what's interesting is in this card, this person is just holding the piece, right? I'm so annoyed that it's just so loud. I really hope that's not bothering you guys, but I'm pissed that other people are existing with me right now. So this person, they're just holding this piece up. This one is kind of, like admiring it almost. And then there's this one who's actually like actively working on something. They're knitting something, right? So this could literally be like, I'm getting this energy of like encouragement from other people. It could even be whatever it is, like whatever this thing would be for you. It could even be just putting it out there wherever you are in the process with it. Because this feels like, almost like confidence building is how this feels. Like, you have somebody here that's going to hold it up for you and on display. And then you have somebody that's admiring it. So it's like getting that encouragement from the people around you. And then we have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, swords having to do with our thoughts, our mind. I see them as being the card of ego because it's generally where we hear our ego. Clearly, pretty fast moving. Like this figure is moving or, running towards this motorcycle. And I just noticed that there's, kind of this binary Is that what it's called? The zeros and ones? Like the Matrix? I'm not like that techie, so if I'm using the wrong terms, I apologize. But it is interesting that we were just talking about that. Because too, you know, if again, like with this having to do with our thoughts, right? I mean, it's like it's making a decision to move towards something. You know, I'm sitting here staring at this card because there's this little thread of green that's going from this shirt to this pentacle here. And then we have this red thread from this pentacle, and it's almost like it's being transformed or it's being used, recycled even into something else. And where is this girl's hand? Girl, well, okay, I apologize. I shouldn't assume that's a girl, but where's their hand? I just noticed that. It's very interesting because it's almost like this feeling of this new idea coming in. Like if maybe you have been working on something already, and like I said, that can literally be anything. Whatever it is that your first line even, right, that you've been like investigating, looking into, researching, you know, whatever it is. And it could even be that you've been researching it online. But it's almost kind of like it like sparks something. It may even transform into something else. Like what you originally thought you were going to do could transform. And this could just be, you know, this lightning of an idea, and you just kind of take off with it. And then we have the King of Pentacles. I love this energy right here. Like, are you kidding me? This is beautiful. The King of Pentacles, we go from the Three of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is the highest expression of the suit, right? So this is somebody, you know, I mean, you could see them sitting in their library, chill. They got their pentacle there. This is somebody who has enough of what they need. It's wealth, you know, it's even impeccable health. But this is getting to exactly where you want to be. And that could be what you are looking to build here. There's even, you know, the loyalty factor with the dog there. You know, just feeling content. I mean, even, you know, just the look on this person's face of, you know, like relaxed happiness. You know, just there's this genuine quality there. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Excuse me, the Ten of Cups. The Ten of something. The Ten of Cups, which is the minor arcana card to the Sun card. So this is everything good. This is every good feeling. But it's also, you know, the people in your surroundings, you know, whether that's your family, your business, your friends, your chosen family, whatever it is, right? It's everybody's needs are being met. Everybody feels fulfilled. You know, we have the rainbow here, which, you know, represents the colors of the chakra system. So there's this balance happening here. And again, with this feeling of being relaxed, there's this kind of freedom type of feeling here. And that's what this would be, financial freedom. So it's kind of like whatever this is here, whatever you've been kind of putting a lot of time and attention into researching, working on, trying, you know, it's with this goal of reaching the status of the King of Pentacles, whatever that is for you, right? I mean, just being in this position of not having to worry if you're going to have enough, because you will. That's what the King of Pentacles has, enough and then some. And also, you know, both of these cards talk about sharing, you know, like the kings, when we reach the king, kingdoms or kings generally oversee a kingdom, right? So there's this leadership quality. This could even be the mentor, you know, because I did mention a mentor over here. This could be a mentor. You could become that mentor at some point. Just recognizing, you know, how much that could have or would have helped you, or almost like, you know, paying it forward. If you had a mentor, you know, just recognizing the benefit of that. And then here, you know, with the 10 of Cups, we have this family looking unit here, or at least, you know, these two people and two kids. It doesn't have to be a like I said, it could be chosen family. But that's not without having to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. We have the 5 of Wands here. And the 5 of Wands typically talks about competition. You know, we have these 5 people that are trying to climb up here and get to this flame. Hold on a second. Okay. It's 11:11, which is awesome. I'm glad I looked at the clock. So there you go. If you needed some sort of, you know, validation or confirmation, there it is. I was going to complain that it's 11 o'clock and people are setting off fireworks, but now I'm grateful that they did, because I actually looked at the clock. See how that works out? So, right, the 5 of Wands. Okay, so wands have to do with action, communication. It's desire, passion, right? Creativity. And this flame, you know, it's almost kind of like that why, like remembering your why, right? I always think of Mulan when the 5 of Wands shows up, because, you know, the 5s are that transitionary energy. They're not energies to get stuck in. They're energies to move through. They're energies that are transforming one thing to the next. And with the 5 of Wands, when I think of Mulan, right, like, you know, when they're in warrior training, and they're learning how to fight and do all of the things, right? Because that's what the Five of Wands is. It's, it's the research, it's the trial and error, it's, like, it's trying things, seeing if it works, and if it doesn't, try something else. It's putting in the work, right? And the card that comes after five, of course, is the six, right? And the Six of Wands talks about success, victory. Like, this training, you're training to win that battle. I know the Six of Wands isn't out here, but that's just what I mean, right? Like, you have to go through this process. And we don't really need the Six of Wands out here because we have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is that ultimate success. It is getting exactly where you want to be. And really, it's like, don't even worry about what other people are doing. Worry about what's in front of you, right? Like, that's why I was saying, like, remember your why. And then we have the Lovers here. And when I tell you, I keep getting lost in this Lovers card. Not in a bad way, but it's been so effing powerful to me. Um, I love the imagery on this card. Of course, just by the name, it can be literal lovers, right? There could be a soul connection, soulmate, twin flame, soul family, even. But this card also talks about choices, making a decision. There's a level of commitment, of course, that goes into this card, but it's also about the feminine and masculine energies, not gender. I mean, of course, we can see that there's female presenting and a male presenting here, but it's more so about, those energies and how they intertwine and how they work with each other. And, we can see the feminine here, there's this level of surrender happening and this level of flow, right? I mean, she's got her eyes closed, very passionate, like very receiving almost, right? Just the posture that she has. And then we have this masculine energy here that's kind of supporting her. We can see one arm going around her back here. Eyes are open, right? And there's also this level of relax in this energy. I don't know why, like, I keep between these two cards, I keep looking at their eyes. Like, that just seems so friendly. Oh, I'm obsessed with both of these guys. Now, of course, like this could be, like I said, like this could be leading you, whatever this path is that's opening for you, it could be leading you to this connection. Like that could show up for you. Absolutely. However, more so, this is leading you to kind of this like personal commitment and this yin and yang feeling within yourself, this balance, like making this commitment to putting in the work of this thing. Recognizing too that it may not be all rainbows and butterflies. It's really about too like navigating decisions, right? There could be maybe even some hard decisions coming up. And also, just looking at this top row here, we start with, of course, the Three of Pentacles, right? Putting in the work. This is that like grassroots, and it's a 3, so it's closer to the beginning of the journey through the aces, right? Or excuse me, through the aces, what? Through the pentacles. I was just thinking about the Ace of Pentacles for whatever reason. And then we move on from the Three of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles, right? So whatever this is, like whatever effort you're putting in now is going to pay off greatly. But it's also, we have this King of Pentacles that's looking at the Five of Wands and still, like with this relaxed, content look in their eyes, since I can't stop looking at that. But it's also, like recognizing that it is going to take some work, and it's worth it though. And it's also remembering like where you came from, right? Like how you got where you're getting. How you got where you're getting. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And then we have down here the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Lovers. I mean, these two cards together would signify, it could signify a relationship, family planning, maybe even. It could open the door for that. Planning over here. But, it's really like this motivation here is for contentment, fulfillment, peace, right? Like freedom. And this ultimate, like I said, that yin and yang, that balance. But again, could be a relationship. Then we have the Queen of Cups here. Talk about surrender. I mean, just her posture here, right? And we have the one cup here. This could be the Ace of Cups. So remembering that why that we were talking about with that flame in the Five of Wands. The Queen of Cups is also very, intuitive. Cups having to do with our emotions, being very clear in how you feel about a thing. Again, this energy of flow, though, you can see again, like her eyes are closed, and just, the hands the way that they are, there is this level of surrender here, just almost allowing things to unfold as they're going to unfold without, putting your hand in the cookie jar. And then we have the Six of Swords behind there. And the Six of Swords talks about being divinely guided. Like nobody's driving this boat, but these crows are towing it basically, right? I mean, you know, her posture isn't even that great. Maybe a bit sad or maybe a bit unsure. But the purpose of this is to move out of choppy waters to more peaceful, calm waters, right? So moving beyond something, moving away from something, or moving towards something else. We have the Three of Swords behind that. There may be, you know, a little bit of rejection that shows up. This more so feels like self-sabotage because we have this heart here, right? And the heart is tethered to this tree. It's tethered, you know, off the card in these other places, but it's also tied to her. So this could be all of those shame stories, all of the reasons why you don't think you deserve a thing, all of those, like I said, whatever you use for self-sabotage, those stories. But then we have the Seven of Wands behind that, which is standing your ground. You know, she's sitting cross-legged, cross-legged. Okay. And there's this bubble around her. There's these seven wands coming at her. She's not even fazed by it, right? There's a burst of energy there at the solar plexus, which talks about creativity, self-esteem. Remember who you are, right? Again, even going back to remembering your why. That's one of the, I think, like the beautiful things about having a fifth line is that there's this beautiful opportunity to get really clear on who you are, because if you know who you are, nobody can tell you who you are, right? Like when they do project, and that could be what these seven wands are. If people do start projecting their fears, their doubts, their opinions, you know, whatever it is, you're in this bubble and you're like, no, none of that shit's mine. I don't believe any of that. That's not even me, right? And then we have the Justice card. Scales balancing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do the damn thing, right? I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.